G'day guys, it's Jessie Holton here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator for Australia, jessieholton.com. Thank you for joining me for another crafting video. Today I'm hopping along with the global video blog hop, or video hop. So please check out the comments below and you can follow us through our YouTube channels. And remember to subscribe to everyone that you love. So today we are doing a one sheet wonder, and you can see here I've got my pattern drawn up on my grid paper. Now this is a one sheet wonder with a twist. It is a 12 by 12, but I'm using two pieces of 12 by 6. So that way you can get a little bit more variation in your designs. So I've chosen this paper from the Gilded Autumn Designer Series paper, which is just beautiful and a very pretty colour combination. And this design is actually from Shannon West from Stampin' Up head office, and I have modified it from inches into centimetres. So I'll put a photo of this up on my blog and my Pinterest page, so you can find it there, or you can screenshot this and get the measurements. So these are the cards that this design makes. You get 4. This is using these bits here. Now remember, this is all doubled, so we've got 6 here and then 6 from the second page, so you end up with, you can make 4 of these cards. And I have used the Tasteful Touches bundle, which is the stamp set and the matching dies. Very, very pretty. And then these two little bits here, you get to make one of those cards. And then we get to make 2 of these cards using these 2 pieces and this piece. And then using these 4 pieces, you get to make 4 of these. And this is a little bit of a fancy fold because the front is folded in on itself to create that shorter front. So very, very pretty way to show off all your designer series papers, and a great way to do it if you can't decide which side to use, which is a common problem, right? So I'm going to go ahead and cut this paper down and show you how to cut it. It is a really easy pattern to follow because there's no real tricky bits to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut 9 centimeters, 10 centimeters and 10.5 centimeters. And you do get a little strip. These pink bits are the extra from the 6 inch by 12 inch. So you do have a little strip here that you can use to decorate your pages with if you want. You get these little thin strips. So I've held on to mine for now. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with them yet, but I'm sure they'll find a happy home. Alrighty, so the first thing I'm going to do is just cut this down to 15 centimeters. And I've got both sheets in here at once. And then I'm going to cut this down to, what did I say, 9, 10.5, 20.5, 29.5. Oh, this will cut off at the end anyway. Alright, let's just do the 9. That'll be easier. And we are very lucky in the South Pacific. We have the trimmer has both inches and centimeters on it. Now one thing to note with your designer series paper is to make sure your paper is facing the right way so that you can interchange the pieces. So I've got my paper with the design facing up rather than, you know, long ways. So 9 centimeters, 10 centimeters, and then these ones, I might actually just cut these ones at the 3.5. 3.5. Eep. .5, and then the last one, .5, and that's your little extra strip there. Okay, so these ones can go in half. Let's do 3 at a time. I'm going to cut these ones down at 7.5. Oops. Okay, so that is those ones, they're done. So we've got 6 in the picture, but we had 2 pages, so I've now got 12 of these little rectangles. Okay, and then the 10 centimeter, this piece is 10 centimeters wide, so we're going to do this section here. First thing I'm going to do is cut 2 centimeters off, and it doesn't really matter if you cut it off the top or the bottom. And then we're going to flip it this way, and we're going to do 4 2.5 pieces. .5, 2.5, 2.5. Okay, and then the last bit that we have to do is our 9 centimeter wide piece. So we're going to cut 2 pieces at 5.5 centimeters, and then we're going to split the bottom piece into 2. So 5.5, make sure that's nice and straight, 5.5, and then split the bottom piece. So this one is 4 centimeters wide, and we're going to cut it at 4.5 centimeters. Alrighty, easy peasy. So what I might just quickly do is show you the other bits that I've got cut out. So I have already scored and cut my cardstock. I'm using mint macaron and Cajun craze, and this will make 11. If you use 2 pieces of 6x6, you will end up with 11 cards. So I've got my card bases ready to go. I have also done a bunch of layers. So you can see here I've got this Sahara sand layer on a few of the cards. So they are 10 by 14.4 centimeters. And I have also cut some very vanilla, and these are also 10 by 14.4. and I have used these for the insides of my cards. Mostly. There's a few little bits that will go along the way. I did also pre-cut and stamp a bunch of the little die cuts. I have used this die here from the Tasteful Labels dies, and this is the coordinating dies for the Tasteful Touches stamp set, which I have also used this leaf and the Just Saying Hello in Sahara Sand and Cajun Craze and Sahara Sand and Mint Macaron. I'll insert a photo here on how I bulk did those. Okay, and I think that is it. So we'll get crack-a-lackin'. Alrighty, so I'll start with the single ones. I have also got the coordinating mint macaron ribbon from the suite. And another one that I really enjoyed using with this is our gold metallic edge ribbon. And this is a vanilla ribbon with the gold metallic edge, so it goes really nicely with this set. Okay, so I'm going to do this one first with our 4 little pieces. Just flip 2 of them over and you're good to go with your 4. You can move them around and decide how you want them to go. I did find this one a little bit tricky to try and get straight. But we'll have a bit of fun with it. I think that's straight. You could, of course, if you only wanted to use 2 of the patterns, that would look quite nice as well if you did them opposites. That would look quite cute. Alrighty, so I've done that. I'm going to put a little bit of tear and tape there we go. There we go. And we go. Okay, and then we'll do one of these ones next. So you've got your little rectangles and just need 3 different pieces. So I did do a couple with this. I did one that was sort of angled up and then one straight, so you can choose to, you know, change up the design a little bit if you like. But my tip here would be just, oh, that's a lot of glue. Start with the one that is in the middle. I find that one is easier to sort of place and just eyeball it. You can measure it if you like. I think that's straight. And again, if you wanted to do the center panel one pattern and then the 2 sides the same pattern, that would look totally cute. Okay, now with this one, I did a big faux bow. So it's just a Z fold of the ribbon. And then you can either put it on an angle like that so that you get your faux bow, or you can have it running up and down like that. I'm just going to put that end on an angle. That's better. And this is my little trick with ribbon. Get that stapled down. And because there is a big chunk of ribbon in the middle of this, I'm not going to put dimensionals in the center, because the ribbon will give the label all the lift it needs. Oh, I haven't been putting forgot to put my little gilded gems on. These are so pretty. I'm just going through an absolute packet of these. I've been using them on everything. Okay, I'm going to stick some glue on this one. There we go. And I'll have some photos on my blog as well for how I stamped the insides of the cards. The next pattern is using these ones. Now, I do normally start with whatever's in the center. So this is the 2 thin strips, and then you should have 4 of these ones. So you're making 2 of these cards. I'll just make one for the video. Again, start with the center. and I've cut my layers to be the same width as these strips, and that was on purpose. That was my guide. And stick this guy at the bottom, try and center it. Stick this guy at the top, and again center it. You can of course change up the designs. You could even use the same paper top and bottom if you wanted to. That would look really cute. Again, I did another big Z-fold. And then with a trusty stapler. And you can see why I'm going through a ton of these beautiful gilded gems, right? Okay. Pop this one on a mint base. So I basically, with the bases and the sentiments, I like to match up the ink from my sentiment. Well, this is what I've been doing for these ones anyway, just because I did half and half. So just to make sure that I am actually using them in the right order and not just favouring, because I would probably just favour the mint over the Cajun Craze. So I'm matching the ink with the cardstock base, and that's how I'm keeping an eye on making sure that I'm using both halves of the cardstock that I've cut up. Okay, so that's the third design, and then the final design is a little bit trickier. So what I'm going to do is I've got a scrap here of the vanilla. Alright, so we want to score the end at 3 centimeters, and then with the scrap we want to cut a piece at 2.7 centimeters. That does not look straight. Let's try the other side. That's better. Oh, I think it's me when I'm putting the lid down. Okay. So that was cut at 2.7 centimeters. Alright, and then we've got our bits. So I'm just going to use 2 pieces the same, and in fact I'll find the matching pieces because it looks, that's a matching set. Use that. Okay, so that way. Alright. So we've got our card base here. We want to fold this bit in on itself. And I found it easier to score this bit at the start as well. Alright, then we want to glue this. And rub that down. We want to do the inside. And so with this particular design, you will want to do your stamping after. Goes that way, yes. Making sure I've got the right piece. Now, because this was designed for American size paper, letter size paper, it is a little bit short, which you could totally fix if you wanted to cut out that shorter piece here. If you wanted to keep this longer, and you could cut it at say 14 centimeters and make this one 1 centimeter, that would probably solve the issue. But I actually didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of cute having that little extra ribbon of Very Vanilla showing. Alright, so I'm going to glue this on here and try and eyeball it so that it's center, because we want our ribbons of vanilla to, our little vanilla borders to be about the same. If you're really not comfortable doing the ends evenly, then you could say have them both lined up at the bottom, or both lined up at the top, or even staggered, one at the top and one at the bottom. And then it wouldn't matter so much as well if your designs didn't match up. Okay, just rub that on. Now with this design, I'm going to use the other ribbon, the gold metallic edge ribbon, because I haven't used any mint in this card, so I feel like the mint ribbon would stick out like a sore thumb. Bit too tight. That's better. My scissors are going a bit blunt. I need to separate them from my new ones. Alright, it's not the world's best bow, but it will do. And a little red. Now with this one, you're going to have half of the sentiment out in thin air, so don't put dimensionals down that end of the sentiment. Okay, so that is that, and then you can stamp your sentiment in there. And those are the 4 designs. So you will end up with, these are the 4 that we've just made. But like I said, you will end up with 11 cards in total if you make all of the bits. So I'll take you back through my original set again. So you get to make 4 of these ones, the last panel. You get to make, oh, and I'll show you the inside there as well. Just using the leaves and the sentiment. And I've stamped this 3 times, so I've only inked it up the first time. and then stamped it 3 times to get that variant on the leaves there. You make 1 of these cards using these pieces, and I've done the same insert. You get to make 2 of these ones using these 2 pieces and this piece. And again, if you wanted to make this 1 centimeter wide, you can make these ones 14 centimeters long, and then they would fit that gap just that little bit better. So you make those 2. I've done these ones like this. And then you get to make 4 of these. So this was my first one. It was a bit of a mishmash. I followed the example that I followed had used 2 different pieces of designer series paper, and I decided afterwards that I quite liked it using the same patterns together. But it's completely up to you, and maybe it's just my choice of designer series paper wasn't perfectly suited to this particular layout. But you can see here how I've stamped it, and I do really like that the gems still show when you open it up. It's really pretty. So there's those ones there that I did, and I did a little background stamping on that one as well, but I do prefer the plainer ones. Personal choice though. Alright, well that is that. So you will end up with this design if you use 2 sheets of 6 by 12 inch paper. You will end up with 11 cards, and I'm going to end up with 22 of these beauties because I've done the lot twice. But isn't it a fantastic way to show off this gorgeous paper and make use of some really pretty dies and stamps as well. Alright, I hope that you guys have enjoyed my video. Please comment and subscribe and let me know which design was your favourite, and perhaps which designer series paper you think would be a good fit for these designs. Make sure that you follow the in the comments. There's a link to the next person in the hop, and make sure that you subscribe to all of your favourite people in the hop. I hope that you enjoy everyone's beautiful projects. I'm sure the team have put together some really gorgeous projects for you, and I can't wait for the hop to go live so I can hop around myself and see all of their beautiful One Sheet Wonder projects. Have a lovely day. This is Jessie Holton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for Australia. JessieHolton.com, signing off.